Hi, Shelley here from Spin Cushions. Today I'm going to show you how to make this square called Levantine from my Siren's Atlas collection. It's pretty simple. The only difference is you can see these little knit-like stitches here, and it's quite flat. So they're not this effect is not made by back post stitches as you might normally make that sort of effect. So it's nice and flat, but still has that really cool effect. It's quite easy too. So I'm going to be making my square in all one colour. I'll let you know if you need to do anything different to change colours when you're finishing off your rounds. Okay, so we start with a magic circle or chain 4 to make a strip, and then slip stitch into your first chain to make a loop. And then we are going to do chain 3 starting chain, or a false stitch like I like to do, a false treble UK or a false double US, and then we're going to do 15 stitches, trebles UK, doubles US. So we're going to end up with 16 stitches in this round in total. So that's 2, 3, and 16. If you're doing a magic circle, here's where you pull it tight. And then we join with a slip stitch to the top of our first stitch. That's the top of my false stitch, or what would be the back loop of the third chain of your starting chain if you did chain 3 at the start. And just with a normal slip stitch. So there we have it, round 1, nice and easy. Round 2 is quite easy as well, but this is where I'm going to start. I'll show you the little trick we're going to use to make that cool effect. So to start off, we do chain 3 starting chain or false stitch again. Then we do 3 trebles UK, doubles US in the same space as our slip stitch. So that same stitch we joined into. 1, 2, 3. Oh, goodness me. Okay, now we're going to skip 1 stitch, and instead of working into the next stitch, we're going to work into the loop behind the V. So this is the V that I'm talking about. You can see the top of each stitch is like a little V. Now normally when you work your crochet stitches, you work either into them, into the back loop, into the front loop. We're not going to work into them at all. We're actually going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US into the back loop, which is this little loop here. So we've got, that's our back loop of the V, but just underneath that is this little loop here, and that's where we insert our hook. Sorry, it's just a bit fiddly through the camera. There we go. So you just insert your hook in that loop, pull a loop to the front, yarn over through 2. So you can see that stitch is anchored behind that V. That's why I call it the loop behind the V. It's also called the back loop sometimes, so it just depends who's written the pattern really. Okay, so now we skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch, not the back loop, we'll do 7 trebles UK, double US. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those 7 stitches are actually our corner, and this 1 stitch in that back loop is our side. I'll just do that back loop thing one more time, and then I'll do all my repeats and come around. So we're skipping this stitch and then the loop behind this next one. So this is how I normally do it. I'll put my hook near it and put my fingernail and poke it underneath like that. And then skip 1 and 7 stitches in the next. So as I say, I will do all of my repeats and come back and show you how to finish off this round. Right, my repeats are done, and our last instruction is to do 3 stitches in the same space as our first stitches, which is back here. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to our first stitch, whether that's a false stitch or your chain 3. And then we have round 2 done. Now the rest of the block is just done of a repeat of the next 2 rounds. They're very similar, it's just the number of stitches that changes. So first off, we start off by doing a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the same place as our first stitch. And then we're going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the back loop, sorry, not the back loop, the loop behind V of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip that next stitch and then do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the back loop only of the next 3 stitches. And that should put us in the, with the next stitch being the middle stitch of the 7 in the corner. Sorry, I've just gone through too much there, that's better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so the next stitch is the middle one, and in that we're going to start doing our corners now. We're doing 1 stitch in the stitch, not the loop behind, in the stitch, 2 chain, 1 stitch. So that's our little repeat. We'll be doing stitches along the side in the loop behind the V and the corner stitches done in the stitches. I'll do my repeats and come back and show you how to finish. Right, all of my repeats are done. All I need to do now is to do a stitch in the same place as my first stitch. And then I'm going to, if you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch. If you're not changing colours, chain 1, grab a scrap of yarn, pop it in there, and join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US into the next stitch. That just puts us in the right place to start our next stitches, as if we're in the middle of a 2 chain corner space. So our joining with that stitch creates that pretend second chain, and we're going to work over it in the next round. Okay, it's nice and easy this round. Chain 3 starting chain or false stitch. Then we're going to do a treble over the joining DC in UK terms, or a double over the joining SC in US terms. So all you do is yarn over and insert your hook where that scrap of yarn is. Done. Now we are going to be working in the stitches along the side. We're going to do a treble UK, double US in each of the 8 stitches along the side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is our side, just 8 stitches in the stitches. Our corners in this round are 3 stitches in the 2 chain space. The trebles UK, doubles US. 1, 2, 3. So that's that. I'll do my repeats and come and show you how to join up. Alright, repeats are done, so all I need to do now is 1 stitch in the same space as our first stitches, which is where that stitch marker is. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch. Doesn't matter if you're changing colours or not, still join with a slip stitch. Alright, we can get rid of that now. Our next round is back to a double crochet UK, single crochet US round, where we work the corners, 1 stitch in, we'll start with a stitch in the same space as our first stitch, and then we are going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the loop behind V of the next 10 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 10, and our corner should be in the middle stitch of our 3 from the last round, which it is, but it's in this stitch, not the loop behind V. We do 1 stitch, chain 2, oops, and 1 stitch. So again, we do all that, come back around, won't be so long. Okay, so I've done all my repeats. I just need to do a stitch in the same space as our first stitch. And if you're new to my method, pop a stitch marker in, chain 1, and join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US. If you're not changing colours, if you are changing colours, do join with chain 2 and a slip stitch as normal. Okay, so the next round is just a straight treble round like we did before, treble UK, double US, with just 3 stitches in each corner and a stitch in every one along. Then the next round is the same as what we've just done, and then the round after that is another treble round. So I might do all of those because they're exactly the same as what we've just done, and come and show you off the last round. See you soon. Okay, so there we are at the end of round 8. So these, the loop behind V round, the normal stitch round, loop behind V round, a normal stitch round. Now we've just got 2 more rounds to do, which are very, very simple. And we start with a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the same space as our slip stitch. Then we just do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in every stitch along the side, and in every corner we do 1 stitch, 2 chain, 1 stitch. And the next round is exactly the same, except we just end the very end of the pattern. Instead of joining with chain 1 and a double crochet UK, single crochet US, we join with chain 2 and a slip stitch at the very, very end. So I will do all of that and come and show you the finished block. Won't be long. Okay, I've done my round 9 and 10. I've chained 2, and I'm just going to join with a slip stitch to my very first stitch of round 10. Then I will snip off, and there you have it, Levantine. Now, as you can see, it's actually, compared to other patterns in Siren's Atlas, this one's quite a little bit larger than in the Bendigo Woolen Mills than it is than the Cascade Ultra Pema, even though they're equivalent yarns. So if you wanted to change the shape of the size of this one, you could leave off the last round or 2 to make it smaller, or if you need to make it bigger, then just repeat the last round. It needs a quick block just to even out some of those edges, but I quite like it. It's quite solid and yet quite flat. So it's got texture, but it's still nice and flat. So there you have it, Levantine from my Siren's Atlas collection. So hopefully you'll come back for more soon. See you later. Bye.